We head for the exit. The automatic doors swish open and we're out on the streets of Whitbourne. It doesn't look much different to Letchford. Across the road there's a laundrette, Mario's washateria. Mario's looks like it closed down a long time ago. The windows are boarded up and someone's put a brick through the Perspex sign above the door. Every dog in the surrounding area seems to have taken it in turns to crap outside the place, and graffiti is daubed all over the walls. A few swastikas and Anthony is a twat in big capitals. Dylan raises his eyebrows. "Welcome to Whitbourne," he says. "Ain't exactly Saint-Tropez, is it?" I laugh. Whitbourne's just a knackered little resort between Brighton and Eastbourne. It doesn't matter though. The sun's struggling to get through a bank of grey cloud. There's a bit of wind blowing and a slight chill in the air, but there's nowhere on earth I'd rather be. "Which way are we going then, Robbie?" George asks. Robbie rubs his nose. He doesn't answer. Dylan cocks his head to one side. "Robbie," he says, "it's your mum and dad's caravan. You know how to get there, don't you?" Yeah, Robbie spits, machine gun start. "Course I do. Just need to get my bearings. Not come here on a coach before, have I?" A few more seconds pass. Robbie looks left and then right. A smile spreads across his face. He's got it sussed. "Okay," he says, pointing. "It's this way. Got to tell you though, it's quite a long walk." We set off. All the buildings on the street look the same. 2-storey flat roof boxes with wooden cladding along the front and shops on the ground floor. Most of the shops are shut down, but a couple of spot cash places are still open for business. We come to a corner by a big carpet world. There's a sale on and someone's tied bunches of red and green balloons either side of the doorway. The car park is empty. Turning left, we come past a red brick building. Magistrates Court, a sign says. A few dodgy characters are smoking on the pavement outside. At the top of the steps, a fat security guard is frisking an agitated-looking bloke in a beige Lacoste shell suit. Seagulls are wheeling and screeching overhead, but there's still no sign of the seafront. There's still not much sign of the sun yet either. If anything, it's getting colder. I zip my hoodie tight under my chin. A couple more minutes, Dylan starts up again. "Shit, man," he says. "You weren't kidding about it being a long way, were you, Robbie? If I'd have known it was a walking holiday, I'd have brought me hiking boots." "Shut up, Dylan," Robbie snaps. He's annoying, Dylan, always winding people up. Robbie's usually fairly laid back, but Dylan's starting to piss him off. As usual, George acts as the peacemaker. "Hey, you two," he says, "stop messing." Robbie and Dylan keep on scowling at each other, but they do what George says. George is the voice of reason. He moved to Leicester from Birmingham when he was 11. With his Brummie accent and the way he looks, he reminds me of Adrian Chiles off the telly, the one who's always banging on about West Brom. On the face of it, George is totally different from me and Robbie and Dylan. We all play football, school teams, Sunday league, that kind of thing. We're all pretty decent players, but George is the sort who gets picked last in PE. He's such a good lad though, the soundest bloke you could ever find, and he cracks me up. I look around, taking in a bit of the local colour. There's a cross-eyed bloke in a flat cap with a can of own brand lager in his hand weaving our way. Outside the health centre over the road, a junkie is staggering up and down with a handful of prescriptions and a dog on a string. I can hear a thud, thud, thud sound coming from somewhere. Loud music on a car stereo getting closer. Robbie's calmed down now. "Come on," he says, "let's get going." A few hundred metres further and we come to a pedestrian crossing. We're just stepping out when we nearly get cleared up by 2 cars screaming past, music blasting. Before I can register what's going on, Dylan's jumped into the road grabbing his balls. "Tossers!" he shouts. There's a sudden screech of brakes. The cars have stopped. Dylan lets go of his balls and gets back onto the path. 2 seconds later, 6 white lads are bundling out of the motors. 4 from a sky blue Peugeot 205, 2 from a black Citroen Saxo. They're a few years older than us, about 18 to 20, baggy trousers, logos and chunky jewellery. They're heading our way. Oh shit, I say. Great start to the weekend. A slapping from the local chavs.